Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, reacting to the Toronto Raptors 100-88 victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers, and this is what we call a massive W for this team, as the Toronto Raptors finally we're not fully healthy just yet. We still have Precious Achiuwa and Otto Porter Jr. out, but a lot of the guys that were out of the rotation in recent weeks returned to the lineup tonight, and man, was this a glorious game to watch. This is exactly what we want to see out of Toronto Raptors basketball, and they came out and got a W. And obviously the big name that returned in this one was Pascal Siakam, who in this game had put up a solid stat line despite being on a minutes restriction. Tonight in this game, Pascal on his return, 7 of 14 from the field, 1 of 3 from the three-point line, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. And folks, you can just see it. The impact that Pascal has on the game as soon as he steps onto the court. This guy just commands so much defensive pressure, his ability to facilitate for his teammates, hit whether it be three-pointers, whether it be mid-range shots, his touch around the rim. He scores everywhere on the court, and even after returning to injury, even how many minutes did he play in this game? Only 30 minutes for Pascal Siakam. Still a little bit of a less minutes restriction there. But even with everything that's factored into this game, against a very strong front line, with Evan Mobley up there, they have some size in the defensive front court, right? Pascal Siakam was not deterred, and he had an amazing return to action. Shout out to Earl T, wishing me a happy belated birthday. But, this is just an all-around monstrous performance, and it was a full team effort from this entire squad, but I'm just elated to see Pascal Siakam still looking like an MVP since he's returned to action. But one dude that was holding it down for this Raptors squad, for this Raptors team, while it seems like our entire lineup was out, was OG Anunoby. And people were questioning when the lineups return to normal, will OG Anunoby be able to, keep up the level of play he was performing at while the players were out? And my goodness, he somehow did it again, even with less touches, even with less opportunities, all within the flow of this Toronto Raptors offense. OG Anunoby came out, did exactly what was needed. He even looked more energized on the defensive end. People are bringing it up, what El Trickster's saying in the chat, call the cops, Donovan Mitchell has gone missing. Last seen in the presence of OG Anunoby, because, man, OG Anunoby put those clamps on tonight. Donovan Mitchell in this one, who's been averaging like a 30-piece this season. What was he held to? Like 8 points in this game? Just an absolute clamp fest. And not just on Donovan Mitchell, but the entire roster. Big part of it's OG, a big part of it's Trent being more engaged. Big part of it's just this entire Raptors defense not having anyone play like a ridiculous amount of minutes in this one. No one, with the exception of OG Anunoby, really played over 32 minutes of action this one. People were fresh, people were moving well, and defensively, man, we were just on a string, right? We have so many guys, with Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, who could poke the balls loose, super athletic, with the exception of Fred, all have long arms for their position, but all of those factored into play. Our defense right now, the Cavs only scored 88 points in this game. For a team with Darius Garland, with Donovan Mitchell on it, with Evan Mobley on it, right? I know Kevin Love and Jared Allen are still out, but Karis LeVert coming off the bench, they got some firepower on this Cleveland Cavaliers team, and 88 points is a little bit deceiving too, because what they had to like 8-10 points in garbage time, which where the Raptors kind of let up a little bit. The Raptors with this core group with like 4 minutes to go, Cavs were in the 70s in terms of scoring. So that's what the level of defense of this Raptors team was performing. And I let the team defense get me away from my tangent with OG Anunoby, because just all around, phenomenal performance. Like, he's the focal point, the main defender on Donovan Mitchell, but on the offensive end, he was lighting it up as well. Tonight in this game, OG Anunoby had 20 points on 8 of 13 shooting, 4 of 6 from the three-point line, and then just nothing too crazy, like a 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, but honestly, like, those box score numbers, don't take those into account all around game, because he was just so focused on just keeping Donovan Mitchell out, right? You're not focused on grabbing those rebounds. You're just boxing out. You're just denying defense. When you poke the ball loose, you poke the ball loose. I'd be interested to see how many deflections he had in this game, because he was all over the court, doing everything, making the right cuts, and offensively, this is what we're talking about with OG Anunoby. Folks, he's not the guy that you want run an isolations left, right, and center. He's not the guy you want maybe last second to, get you a bucket with 1-2 guys, the focal point of your offense. But when he's confident, when he's making his straight line drives within the flow of the offense, the ball gets swung to him and he can be confident in those 1, 2, 3 dribble takes where he uses his strength to bully a smaller defender, where he uses his finesse, the handle that he does have to blow past a bigger defender, right? That's when OG Anunoby is most elite, because then he's confident and then the threes just go down with full effect, right? He's hitting transition pull-up threes. He did have one nice isolation score of Evan Mobley, which was nice in this one, but OG, he can keep up. The reason, people were speculating whether or not he'd be able to maintain this level of performance once everyone's back, the reason he's able to is because the looks he's going to get with Pascal, with Fred VanVleet, with Gary Trent Jr., with Scotty Barnes out there on the court, they're going to be even more open, even more within the flow. So just throw some W's out there in the chat. We got the Don saying OG DPOY. That is just facts. Throw some W's in the chat for OG Anunoby, because this guy was an absolute beast in this one. But we got PK coming in with a super chat saying Thaddeus Young needs to stay with the starting lineup. And honestly, this is something we're going to be talking about. This is something that's going to be a big conversation over the next week or so, because for people that don't know, Starboy and Scotty Barnes returned to action in this one, and the two guys ended up being benched by the Raptors. Now, a lot of people were calling for Gary Trent Jr. to be benched, just given his lack of production on the offensive end and the fact he's looked a little bit lethargic on defense in some of his recent outings. But again, looked great tonight off the bench. Early in his career with the Toronto Raptors, Gary just always struggled immensely coming off the bench. And people were saying Nick Nurse put Scotty Barnes on the bench with Gary Trent Jr. because, not to make Gary not feel bad for performing worse. But as PK saying, Thaddeus Young in the starting unit, right? Chatty Thaddeus Young, he has been amazing. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Thaddeus Young has been elite since the injuries have occurred, and he's gotten an opportunity to run with veteran, high caliber players around him, because Thaddeus Young is one of those role guys that gets the most out of the guys around him. He's not going to be, again, an isolation scorer. He's not going to be someone that's dribbling up the court and creating something crazy. No. But when you throw 4 guys around him that cut, that can shoot threes, that can create offense for themselves, he's the best hustler on this team. Any loose ball, any rebound underneath the rim, and it's within Thad's vicinity, you can put money on him getting that rebound, getting that 50-50 ball, right? He runs the court well. He has an extremely high IQ out there on the basketball court in terms of making passes and stuff. And as PK saying, he plays really, really well with high-level talent around him. And he struggled a little bit earlier in the season, probably because he was out there with, bench players. And yes, vets are supposed to get more out of their teammates, and Thad is a guy that facilitates and stuff. But what Thaddeus Young can do for the Pascals of the world, for everyone like that, it's a huge positive out there. And we got Jared is saying in the chat, I'll take that over Gary in the starting lineup any day. And we don't want to overreact. We don't want to talk too quickly, because Scotty Barnes will certainly be back into the starting unit. Bo Cruz tonight had a really strong performance. The Cruz missile, Juancho Hernan-Gomez, he was solid in this one. Again, nothing too crazy in the box score, but Scotty Barnes will surely overtake him in the starting unit as the games go forward. But Gary Trent Jr. off the bench, it just kind of makes sense with what the Raptors are doing. We're talking about fits and stuff, and Gary being that explosion off the bench with Chris Boucher in terms of getting buckets, right? How many minutes did Gary get in this game? How many, in this one off the bench, didn't have a lot of minutes early, 26 minutes. Like, if Gary should be playing 30 to 35 minutes a night, but he can do that off the bench, right? He can do that with those types of minutes. So it's it's a positive. And my bad, is that the Cruz missile animation that's loud? I'll turn that down next pod. My bad on that. But Gary off the bench, it's something to look at. It's something we'll continue to talk about as this podcast goes along. But him, Scotty Barnes, 2 of those guys perform well off the bench. But I do want to give, I'm getting tangential. I'm reacting to the chat. I'm seeing what people are saying. But Thaddeus Young in this one, again, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Solid box score, but that doesn't show the impact he's having out there on the court. He's down there in the lanes with the long boys and Evan Mobley and the squad on Cleveland. He is getting dirty with those guys, getting rebounds, getting loose balls, getting deflections, and just the Raptors look so much more like a fluid offense with Thaddeus Young out there on the court, especially when he's running with top-tier guys. So Nick Nurse, regardless of who you have in the starting lineup or who you have coming off the bench, keep Thaddeus Young playing with our top level guys, because he's playing really, really well at that in that area. So him, Bo Cruz, and keep Bo Cruz in the rotation, right? Like again, Juancho Hernangomez, 5 points in this one, 6 rebounds. No one's going to say he was that great, but had a really nice layup, hit a 3. I don't mind him seeing, like, letting those threes fly a little bit more, trying to get open, but the defense that he plays, it's a perfect match with what this Raptors team wants to do, and he deserves a lot of the credit why the defense looked so strong tonight against this Cleveland Cavaliers roster that have a lot of bucket getters. So he's, again, another dude playing his role, is probably better suited playing around better teammates, right? Not being if you throw a lineup of just Juancho Hernangomez, Thaddeus Young, and like Malachi Flynn out there with Christian Koloko or something, it's not going to be a smooth lineup. You're not going to get the best Juancho Hernangomez or Thaddeus Young rocking. But if you throw Juancho and Thaddeus Young out there with Fred VanVleet, Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, and Gary Escotti, right, some of our top tier dudes, then we start to see the value that they can actually provide. So that's the one benefit of Nick Nurse not being afraid to switch up the rotations, not being very dogmatic about the lineups he likes to run, because over the course of the season, we can see what works. And I guess that's the one shining light you get out of the injuries that we've had. So good thing the Raptors dealt with these injuries early in the season. We're still in a really, really strong place. Really, really great stuff from this Raptors squad. But El Trickster saying, can OG please get the Scotty Barnes award? I get no respect, OG. Criteria is fluid. And, El Trickster's calling it out. He's calling it out here tonight. And we got to give out an award. Tonight, the Scotty Barnes Award. The chat is calling for it to go. Glock is saying OG is the best player on the team. El Trickster saying, can he please get the award? But as people know, the criteria is fluid for the Scotty Barnes Award. And tonight, unfortunately for OG Anunoby, it's the Toronto Raptors' best player off the bench in this game. And unfortunately for OG Anunoby, he didn't come off the bench in this one. It was Scotty Barnes. Because in this game, Scotty Barnes came out and played solid defense, looked pretty healthy out there, didn't seem like he was limping, had 11 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, had 3 blocks. Defensively was just an absolute beast, was a menace out there. It was, again, I'm talking about this entire team was just great, on the defensive end, offensive end, but I thought Scotty Barnes was playing more like we want him to play. And 12 shots in 27 minutes, I think that's the right amount of aggression we want to see from Scotty. Got some work down there in the paint in terms of getting his shots, getting his looks, and was well deserving of the Scotty Barnes Award. It's tough because the criteria is fluid, and it's the best player coming off the bench in this one, and Gary Trent Jr. definitely was in the running for the Scotty Barnes Award today, but Scotty had to take it, right? And it's fluid, so it is what it is. But definitely want to give a little shout out to Gary Trent Jr.'s stat line as well, as in this game, 26 minutes for him, 14 points, 7 rebounds. Was out there hustling, got one really nice steal in this one. Only took 9 shots, 2 of 5 from the 3-point line, 2 misses, or what was it? 2 misses late. So he's pretty efficient up until garbage time happening. So it's what's going on. It's what's happening. And Nameless is out here roasting people who were saying we should trade everybody. And folks, so we got a nice roster on this squad. We can't be trying to trade the entire team. And, this Raptor squad is great. You love seeing this level of action from our team. And I don't want to be remiss in terms of giving a best player off the bench, because Chris Boucher has continually been a positive for this Raptor squad. Yes, he wasn't that efficient from the field tonight. 5 points, 2 rebounds, but in 22 minutes of action, I thought, again, like the rest of our team, defensively was getting it done in the paint. Had a couple of rebounds, but his presence with those long arms, especially against a team like the Cleveland Cavaliers, is extremely effective. I thought he was cutting well. And yes, while the box scores don't always look too hot, just the eye test. You can see Chris Boucher having a strong performance in this one. It was just an all-around effort for this team. And William Chan saying that, will the criteria ever be the best player not named Scotty Barnes? And that's never been a criteria yet, but it's fluid, right? We can't mess with the fluid in terms of the awards. Right? You never know what it's gonna be going into the podcast. It just sort of flows. It's fluid. So that's what's happening. We'll run through this box score to finish things off. right? Fred VanVleet also 5 of 15. Again, the efficiency isn't at a high level right now, 32 points, but plus 24 for the game, 32 minutes, sorry, 13 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, and really just, again, the intangibles that Fred VanVleet brings to the game. A lot of people love to trash and bag on Fred VanVleet, but tonight, especially, just triggered a bunch of runs for this Raptors team, facilitated for the rest of the guys. Wasn't forcing his game by any means, right? Had a couple shots at the end there that were a little bit tough when he got subbed in the fourth quarter, but other than that, thought just took the right looks, played the game the right way, and our half-court offense is dependent on Fred VanVleet being out there on the court. That's really how it is for this Raptors team, and Fred VanVleet deserves a lot of praise for what he brings to this Raptors table. People, stop trying to trade Fred VanVleet, especially after a loss or something. He is valuable. Yes, we want the efficiency to pick up. Yes, he deserves criticism on that front, but a couple of nice drives, has really nice reads, and was an all-star for a reason for us last season. So show some love to the entire roster tonight, because I thought that that's what's happening. Daniel, I think that's how you pronounce it, saying even when Scotty doesn't play, he gets the award for being a good bench support. You know, it's fluid. We never know what the award's going to be. But that's what we have rocking there. And then we ran through most of the players, shed some light on the guys, but Koloko, Banton, you know, Doughton came in garbage time. Didn't get to see much action out of those folks. But I think it's time to swing it into the segments. And tonight, the one, the only, the spicy P-lay of the day. And we definitely have a few spicy P-lays in this moment of action. And tonight, what are we giving it to? I think it's got to go to Fred VanVleet. Had Chiozza on him at the end of this game. The Raptors were up, but Chiozza was playing pretty aggressive defense. No fouls called by the referees. I don't mind it. I like the refs letting them play. All up into Fred. You know, and Fred rarely has the size advantage on one-on-one matchup, but the smaller guard was in there swiping at Fred VanVleet, just trying to hack him, basically. Had 3 sort of possessions of hacking him, and then Fred VanVleet just says, no, this isn't how it's going to be. Makes a little drive, and maybe it was a push off, but I don't really care. Chiozza fouled him like a bunch of times. Bounced off him like Fred VanVleet was a semi-truck, and he just splashes the smoothest looking 3 I've seen, which was just a great look. A great look for Fred VanVleet hitting that shot. You love seeing that from Fred VanVleet. So throw some W in. Oh, Neto. Oh my God. I'm losing my mind. Who Chiozza was why is he in my brain? He got cut from the Mavericks, right? Or is he on the Warriors? I'm mixing up names here. My bad, folks. But it was Neto into his grill, and then hitting that 3. Definitely a big positive there. You know, the names are fluid on this podcast as well as people know. We wiling out here after a W. Yeah, my bad on that, folks. But I believe Chiozza, was he the one cut for Kemba Walker? My brain's jumping all over the place, but definitely deserved it according to Country Kong. Playing well on this front. So lots of positives there. Lots of great moments. Pascal Siakam had a couple minute stretch where he was just absolutely cooking the Cleveland Cavaliers, whether it be fadeaway 3s, middies, shots going up. The ball didn't hit the rim. They were just pure swishes from Pascal Siakam, knocking down those shots. So that's what you love to see there from Pascal Siakam bouncing back. But not all plays can be the spicy play of the day, and some just make you say, oh, geez. And tonight, the oh, geez play of the day. Tonight, It's going to a couple. There's one weird hook shot that Thaddeus Young had, and and this one just kind of turned around and hucked it at the rim. Whenever I watch the game and I verbally say "oh geez," then it has to be given in that award right now. So it's that one was an oh geez moment of the action tonight. Chris Boucher missing a couple bunnies out there. Positive. It's all a positive game out there in terms of the OGs award, and Cleveland Cavaliers were definitely saying OGs to all the transition 3s that OG was hitting in this game tonight. But final word, the infamous, the one, the only, the Paul Pierce Golden Kazoo Award of the evening, and it's going. I guess it has to go to Donovan Mitchell for getting clamped in this game. What were his official stats in this one? Let's give it a look. Let's give it a peep. Donovan Mitchell, 3 of 11 from the field tonight. had only 8 points. 8 points, 3 of 11, 1 of 5 from the 3-point line. Only 2 assists as well. Usually when we, run stifling defense on the superstar, they get a couple of assists for their teammates. But Donovan Mitchell was absolutely clamped up by the Raptors. And, Okoro, 1 of 11. Darius Garland had a pretty solid game, but didn't get a lot of good looks. 18 points, 10 rebounds, 10 turnovers. Had Dean Wade out there, Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley had a pretty solid game in this one as well. So it's Raptors out here clamping. Anyone off the bench perform anything well for the Cavs? Not really. Karis LeVert was clamped up as well. We love seeing it. We love to see it. The Raptors defense be this elite for the squad. So that's what we love to see from this Raptors team. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about this game. What are your thoughts? How are we feeling? Get a little like spike. Get a little sub spike, folks. We got 250 people in here. We're not really worried about the likes, even though we only have 40. But definitely hit that subscriber button. Helps us out big time. We're on the push for 27,000 subs. The Raptors are about to go on a little win streak. I'm calling it. And you want to be subbed. Want to be subbed to the Raptors Digest. You want to make it happen. But OG had everyone in the Chinese finger traps. Those are always fun. I haven't seen any of those recently, in recent years. So they tried a Koro like crazy tonight. Yeah, I'm watched a whole bunch of Cleveland Cavaliers games, but so Isaac Okoro good. Let me know, chat. What's his averages? What's he looking like this season? Because I was pretty high on him as a rookie. He was a lottery pick and stuff. Plays solid defense for sure, but he always just sucks. He always just sucks with when he plays against us. But sleeping with the fishes. Yeah, Koro's bad. That's tough. Very bad. Love to see it. But Phil Gaps is saying OG smart getting his threes. OG's just taking the right shots. He's going to get better and better looks with Pascal, with Fred VanVleet, with everyone returned to the lineup. So I'm hoping OG, can OG Anunoby be our all-star this season? Obviously, Pascal, if he doesn't get injured again, will be certainly an all-star. But the Raptors make their way to a 3rd seed, which I think is extremely realistic, right? We get 2 all-stars. Is OG the second guy at this point? I think it has to be, given his level of production so far in this game. So that's a positive there. Koro's a solid defender, but he doesn't have good offense at all. Yeah, that's my impression of him. But William Chan is saying that Nurse pushed for Siakam's restriction to be 30 minutes instead of 20. Nick Nurse has no regard for minutes restrictions. So 30 minutes is a minutes restriction for us. But he's a good defender, yeah. Cavs went 7 for 38 from 3. Jeez, that's a OG stat of the night for the old Cleveland Cavaliers. Not the best look. OG versus Zion. Can't wait to see that. That's going to be fun. OG is a pretty strong man himself. He's going to be able to hopefully keep Zion Williamson out of the paint there. But Raps have 4 or 5 dudes who could be an all-star any year. That's facts, right? Fred VanVleet. In the next three seasons. Obviously, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet could be all-stars. They were all-stars last year, in recent seasons. OG Anunoby's playing at that level right now. You wouldn't be shocked, baffled if he were to make an all-star game. Scotty Barnes has that potential, for sure, in the next 2 years to become that all-star level player. And Gary Trent Jr., Precious Achiuwa, could either of those guys, they take the leaps, become all-stars? I don't know. Jay's asking who's our next game, and it's we're playing the New Orleans Pelicans on Wednesday, I believe. But OG's and defense alone should get him into the All-Star game. Not could. Should get him into the All-Star game. Because look what he did to the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight on that defensive end. You love to see it. But Okoro Stanley Johnson 2.0, sadly. That's tough. That is tough. But OG deserves All-Star votes this year. Facts. We gotta make the push. We'll get back on Twitter. We'll make those pushes, those tweets rocking because you love seeing that. But if Ingram plays, I think we put Barnes on Zion. I think we throw OG on Zion for sure. I think that's a move. I don't know. Nick Nurse knows better than all of us, so we'll figure out, see what happens. Cedi Osman thought he was going to have himself another night. Better take that back to Cleveland, pal. You're not having a night on us tonight. No Cedi moments. No amount of practices you have with LeBron, Kawhi, and Kevin Durant can prepare you for OG Anunoby. But OG shut down Luka and Spida back-to-back nights. You love to see it. This guy's clamps. This guy's DPOY, folks. If the Raptors get top 5 defense, I don't know how there's a world he doesn't get it, assuming OG stays healthy and maintains his level of production. OG's just a beast, man. He is an absolute monster out there. But Osman with the Bros, yikes. Thought he was going to drop 20 tonight. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. But Jeff Mitchell saying, does Gary Trent Jr. get traded before the deadline, or do they re-sign him in the offseason? And the next month is going to be very telling about Gary Trent Jr.'s future. That's my take. I think we need to see this Raptors, because like, if the Raptors can maintain levels of performances like this, night in, night out, like we just took a Cleveland Cavaliers team that's trying to be a force in the Eastern Conference and manhandled them. And we can't expect a crushing W every single night, but if this core Raptors group, relatively healthy, and we're still not even healthy just yet. We have Precious Achiuwa and Otto Porter Jr. still out of the lineup, but a relatively healthy Raptors lineup playing against these teams with Gary Trent Jr. and the whole main core plan, and we continue to win. I think the Toronto Raptors maintain this core and try to build around these pieces. But the Raptors continue to be inconsistent while all the players are back into the units, back into the lineups. Then it's going to be a tougher decision for the Raptors to commit all this capital, all this money to Gary Trent Jr. in the future, and they don't want to let him walk for nothing. And that's why a week ago we were hearing a bunch of trade rumors regarding Gary Trent Jr., and probably why if we lose a couple more games, we're going to hear him again. We'll be reacting to him, but we'll maintain till the trade deadline, until Gary starts actually sucking or something like that. Like, I want to see this Raptors unit stay. I want to see this core, see what we can do. I think we got robbed in the playoffs last year in terms of health, so I want to see this Raptors group healthy and see what can happen. But nobody's getting traded. Thad teaching the young guys how to play, even Chris Boucher. You love to see it. And Jeff is saying the issue is the contract. They need to pay Siakam, Fred VanVleet, and eventually Scotty. Facts. OG as well. He's gonna need some money as well in the future. So OG will be re-signed. OG's the guy that I would be most devastated if we lost. Obviously Scotty Barnes, because he's our best asset. Obviously Pascal Siakam, because he's our best player. But emotionally, in terms of just Raptors core, Raptors identity, OG Anunoby just represents that to me. OG just he just seems like the quintessential Raptor. If we lost him, I would be absolutely devastated. I know there's the Kevin Durant rumors picking back up in recent weeks and all that, but I'd be sad to give up OG Anunoby. You gotta do it for Kevin Durant, because a lineup of Fred VanVleet, Scotty Barnes, Kevin Durant, Pascal Siakam, and Thaddeus Young. That's chips with the dip. That's easy chips. That's an easy championship right there. So you got to do it, but it would make me sad in the moment. It would make me sad in the moment, but you'd have to do it. Other than Kevin Durant, not trading OG. Unless it's like Luka or Jokic or something dumb like that. But let's go F the Cavs. It's like that win over Cleveland Cavaliers. They've hurt us so many years, so many times in a row, right? It's nice to get the W. But OG contract is still a steal, though. I'll say that every day, every moment I can yell it. I can't believe the Raptors re-signed OG Anunoby that contract a couple years ago. Amazing deal. But OG gonna want a bag. Give him a bag. Give him a Gucci bag. Give him whatever type of bag he wants, because I want OG on this roster. Extend him now before he becomes All-Star Anunoby. That's what we need. But Eltrix are saying we need consistent shooting. Fred and Freddie is not consistent lately. A slasher like Norman Powell and a solid big man in the starting unit for a title. Or Kevin Durant. But I do agree. We need the consistent shooting. That's a big one. I think we have a couple slashers. I think Pascal, Scotty Barnes, even OG at this point, they're solid slashers. But, the big man we can do by committee. But the consistent shooting is going to be key. But he will get the bag. Jack said OG looked like Kawhi. That was a great comparison. I love OG Anunoby, or the Jack Armstrong comparing OG Anunoby to Kawhi Leonard. You love seeing it. But I would take KD. Another championship is so important. Yeah. Championship would be nice. Too much give up for Durant. Wouldn't make it worth it if we lost OG in the process. Sean, that's my again. I would feel that, and I get it. But Kevin Durant's Kevin Durant. I'm not going to hate on anyone that's saying they wouldn't do a deal like that or anything, But KD's KD. That's a chip. That's a guaranteed chip. Even though it would hurt in terms of my heart. Because I'm not a big KD fan. I will be. All my gripes with Kevin Durant will be mended if he ends up coming to this Raptors team. But I'm not a big KD fan, so the first couple days I'll be a little bit cheesed. But agreed, extend him now. Agreed. Extend our entire roster right now. That's what we want to see. But keep OG, give him his back. Facts, Rowdy. But if Raps make the NBA Finals, we let Riker out of the basement for a watch party. No, he's locked in. But apparently he's in England or something right now. I don't know. It's some wild stuff. Keeping the Riker Richard Instagram. But Bo Cruz is our only slasher. Bo Cruz be driving in. Man, I was going to play the Bill Cruz animation, but I think it's too loud, so my bad on that. True OG look like Kawhi. That's because DeMar didn't play defense. Everyone on this roster plays defense. That is facts. We look so much better with Kawhi instead of DeMar. Defensively, it was a whole nother level. But Jeff Mitchell saying, what about OG, Gary Trent Jr., Precious for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? That's a tougher one. Shai has been like a top 5 player this season. Like, he's been dumb for OKC. But one, OKC is just not going to trade him. That's the first thing. Like, he's not going to trade him. But he is Canadian. We bring him in and stuff. But OG is tough. Like, Kevin Durant's proven championship guy. I'm only trading OG Gary Precious for proven championship guy. I'm not sure if Shai is that just yet. Just yet. So that's because DeMar didn't. Okay, where are we at? Somewhere in Ryland. If Golden State can do it, so can we. Give them all the money. That's facts. Give them all the money. Or we just trade Gary for first, and that first becomes Victor Wembanyama. Let's not do that. That's sarcasm. People, don't clip that in the future, please. You can't trade SGA till June 2023. Besides, why would OKC? Yeah, I don't think that move is gonna happen. But it looks like he's got a girlfriend, Robert G. I don't know. I honestly, genuinely don't know. It's some people got mad at me the other day saying we're unprofessional. I don't know where Riker is, so it is what it is. Shai requests a trade. Yeah, we're going mad after Shai Gilgeous-Alexander if he requests a trade, but I don't imagine he's going to. He wants to see how it looks with Chet with their pick this season. You know, OKC has a very, very bright future. They're going to be a fun team to watch for many years. So, you know, the Raptors, they're looking good though. They're looking good. We're on a very nice trajectory. We're on a very nice path. But Sean saying, don't mean to sound argumentative, but Brooklyn thought KD, Kyrie, the third star was a guaranteed trip every year, and that was not the case. Brooklyn was wrong. Sean, agreed. The Brooklyn Nets just don't have it. Their roster didn't make sense from the jump. They didn't have any defense on the team. They gave all that money to DeAndre Jordan from the start. Kyrie himself is just like, I know there's a huge split in terms of Kyrie, especially with the tweets he was posting and stuff. But like, there's always something off the court wrong with Kyrie Irving. Like, regardless, it's always something random. I've said it since that team came together. Something will go wrong with the Brooklyn Nets. Do I know what it is? Do I know what's going to go wrong? Do I know coming into the season what it's going to be? No. But something goes wrong with just Kyrie on your team. Ever since, 2016? Ever since he's got that championship, even before LeBron was there was some weird stuff going on with Kyrie in 2014 and all that. Like, something will go on a team with Kyrie, and then you'll add more just big personalities to a team with KD. You know, James Harden when he was there, Ben Simmons, DeAndre Jordan when he was there. Like, the team didn't make sense. So I don't think that if Kevin Durant came to the Raptors, I mean, look at Kawhi Leonard was amazing for us. Deserves a bunch of credit. But this Raptors system that we brought him into, that played the right way, that did everything correctly around Kawhi, no drama leaked. Like, look at the Kawhi Leonard we picked up. He was sitting out on one of the greatest franchises of all time, the San Antonio Spurs, in that moment. Right? In that moment, nothing ever happened in San Antonio off the court, that was like dramatic. They dealt with everything in-house. Popovich was regarded as one of the best coaches of all time. And the Raptors took that disgruntled Kawhi Leonard, who didn't really want to come up north. He wanted to play in LA. That's clear now at this point. He was sitting out games. There's a bunch of drama between Kyle Lowry and Masai Ujiri. There's a bunch of crazy, beefs happening on the team. There's trades mid-season. We traded some of our key, JV, CJ Miles, DeLon Wright, guys that were here for a couple years, and JV who was here for a long time. We dealt with all that madness super professionally. We got a chip. KD, we can handle KD, especially after now with the current roster we have, all the vets and stuff. But Tom M's coming in with a super chat saying, there's only one ball, and the next time I see our 5 best players on the floor, it should be at the end, not at the beginning. And Tom M, we did look really, really good. We looked really, really good with Gary Trent Jr. off the bench. Now, will he be able to maintain that performance off the bench? He's looking for a bag this offseason. The Raptors don't want to make it like, oh, you're going to get less money and all that sort of stuff. We're benching you so we don't have to pay you. That's what the Kings did to Dante DiVincenzo last year, and he left. He was disgruntled with the team, right? I'm sure that's not what the Toronto Raptors want to do, but our lineups just make more sense with Gary off the bench. Like, in theory, he's a bucket getter. He's a microwave coming off the bench. So I don't know. That's a big thing, but I want to see a bigger sample size before I'm fully committed to the Gary off the bench bandwagon. And Jarrett's saying we need KD to beat Boston and Milwaukee. Jarrett, logically, you're correct. There's nothing factually wrong with your statement. I do not fear the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't care if you put prime Michael Jordan in an 8-foot body on that team. There's just something about the Milwaukee Bucks. I think we're inside their heads. I think we can beat the Milwaukee Bucks in a playoff series. With this level of Pascal Siakam, I'm just confident. I'm confident in this Raptors team, man. I always am. I'm a delusional Raptors fan. What can I say? But I'm confident in Milwaukee for sure. The Celtics look really good this season. There's no doubt. And they've beaten us before, but I just think the Raptors have what it takes. We got that championship pedigree. So I'm betting on us currently, but yes, Kevin Durant would certainly help. That's what's happening. But Tom M saying it doesn't have to be Gary. Rotate. True. That is true. So we'll see what happens on that front. The only team that worries me is the Celtics. True. But I don't know. The Celtics have this bi-yearly thing where they're really good one year and then they just completely tank it next year. So they're in a tanking year, even though they've been amazing to start off the season. My theory is held true for recent seasons, so I want to see if something happens to the Celtics coming up. But no, I'm not hoping injuries, but I am hoping losses. That's what I'm hoping for the Boston Celtics. I'm hoping they start losing games. I'm not hoping for injuries. That's not what I mean by something always happens. But some locker room drama. I'm hoping that Marcus Smart is mad he doesn't get to take 10 threes a game. That's what I'm hoping for. But it would be competitive, and we are definitely in their heads. Facts. That's facts. But nah, prime 8-foot Michael Jordan might be tough. Not if he's in a Bucks jersey. We own the Bucks. We own Milwaukee. It is what it is. But still want another center. I miss the watch-alongs. Another center would be nice. Koloko will develop into that, though. And fun fact, Tom M, the watch-along should be back for the next game against the New Orleans Pelicans. So stay tuned for that. But I think that's the note. It's 12 midnight my time. I need to start getting better sleeps. I think some of these are not going to be live posts, especially with the watch-alongs are returning, just because they're quicker to make. And can't lie, folks. My sleep has been really, really bad. So I need to start going to bed a little bit earlier, which is unfortunate. But got to get the content out for you guys. Raptors Digest, we're not slowing down. We're speeding up in terms of getting stuff rolling. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you guys want to stay up to date with everything surrounding the team. Make me happy. Wish some good luck on the Raptors. I don't know what weird things to throw in. We're pushing the sub numbers. We're pushing everything we get rocking. But folks, check out we got a lot of stuff going on all the channels. So check out Jays, check out Leafs, check out Habs. Courtside, get some things cooking up. Hit me up if you're interested in joining the brand. Got a lot of things rocking. I'm rambling to end off this podcast, but sub is the main call to action. You guys are the best. Love you as always. I'm signing out. Cheers.